Okay, so this will be part 2 of sharing my experiences, my embodied wisdom, and where I'm at too, because I came to realize that even though I've had these near death and very mystical experiences, it's there, everything's got to be kept up, because the lessons and the patterns will repeat until you finally transmute them. And your shadows need to be acknowledged and seen and understood, because if we shove them down and pretend they're not there, they will keep reappearing in different patterns and different people. And we're here to do that work, and right now we're in a portal in our cosmic astrology where we have the opportunity. The crisis is also an opportunity for us to go much deeper into these things, into the DNA, into the memory banks of our ancestors, our especially on the mother line, the DNA. And so what are those core wounds that, for example, mother, we have mother, father, but the mother wound is a big one in our society because of the way we've treated the feminine, and why the feminine is rising right now is very natural. It's the balance, the pendulum swinging into natural coherence and harmony. And so as a female, I've had my own experiences with these patriarchal systems and these economic systems, and we're seeing the results of these after centuries of having these superimposed on the natural cycles of time, the natural cycles of nature, and our own divine nature being covered up. And a lot of people are lost and confused in these times because they don't learn this, and people are in survival mode with these economic systems. And women's work has not been rewarded in the way that it should be or needs to be or will be. It is becoming more and more as we're taking our rightful place now as the natural leaders of life and protection of life, and where the woman, where everybody comes out of and yet somehow that's being overwritten with artificial systems and a type of pride and superiority to nature. And so for me, it's about understanding the patterns, understanding the symbology, the Freemasons, the old systems, the Vatican, the pineal gland, all of these things I've been studying for such a long time. And I love this, and I'm grateful for my friends that we can share this information with. The Book of Wisdom, all of these things. I love wisdom. It's part of why I'm here, is to explore. And so, as I mentioned, I've been exploring through my own experiences, which is embodied wisdom, and nothing or no one can take that away from you. You can read a book, you can know, you can listen, you can consume a lot of spiritual information, but there is nothing like the body, the understanding the somatic pain that is trapped in the body, why we have those pains, where the body, the physicality is the last dimension. So if we go into the emotional realm and the higher spiritual realm, the soul, that's where we're doing the work. And then we can take off these layers and transformation and detox and release all of this somatic trauma. And one of the best ways to do this is through the breath. This is what I've discovered as I've learned many techniques and explored. So I've come back to the breath over and over again. This is the prana, the chi, the life force, and it connects us to the whole meridian system in our bodies, the Chinese meridian system with acupuncture, the Tao, the chi, like I said, the prana, pranayama, all of this the ancient yogis were using to know that they're not their body. So I know that through my experience, and I will be teaching this and through breath work, and I'll be using also, as time moves on, the tarot. So I'll explain more about that later. Right now I'm going to keep this coherent and short and sweet with my credentials and why you would want to listen to me, or because, you know, there's a lot of talk out there, and there's a lot of people who seem to know what's best for you. And I don't like that, because I know what's best for me. And I know through my own experience and through my own breath and through my body and journaling and know thyself. This is the fundamental baseline of every single wisdom teaching there is, Gnostic teachings, Christ consciousness, you know, what Christ was teaching, Jesus was teaching, Yeshua, however you want to call this teacher, who knew that he was a cosmic being. But how he got to know that is still up for debate. I have my own kind of, what I've been bridging is that Yogananda speaks about it in his book, The Second Coming of Christ Consciousness, which says that by the time he was 13, he was studying in mystery schools and practicing these practices, ancient yogic practices, to activate the Kundalini and the electromagnetic field and know himself as an eternal soul instead of just a temporary human avatar. So these are the fundamentals of Kundalini yoga, and then the cosmic being that emerges out of you know, the mud, like the lotus. Out of the mud you blossom into your full expression and essence of your soul. And we have this opportunity, and to me there is nothing more interesting or empowering to become your own sovereign being. And I would like to encourage others to get to know themselves through the practices and through the somatic releases and through the doing of the soul, you know, how do you say, technology that is built within our biological systems. So study. I am a Kundalini yoga teacher, international certification. I'm a geobiologist. I'm a geographer, human geographer. I'm an environmentalist, naturalist, and I have other credentials in community. I have, you know, a lot of experience with groups and cooperatives. I've had businesses where we've come together in community, and I've been studying community building. All of this is part of my background and my activist wanting to, you know, change the world. I came in this way. My mom's not here, but she would tell you that I was one of those really annoying kids. I was always saying, yeah, but what about this? And we don't want to go to McDonald's because this and that, and we're destroying the rainforest, and connecting all these dots all the time. And it is tiring. And it's been tiring to be a child that was hypersensitive in a world where most people didn't seem to care, even if they had the information. And, you know, I understand that through time, that rewiring the brain, the neurobiology, the neuroscience, you know, with Dr. Joe Dispenza and all of this, what he's teaching is basically the same thing as my own experiences, my own. So when I fully read that book, Becoming Supernatural and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, I started to understand that this is what we're doing here. We're rewiring. This is Kundalini yoga. This is breath work. This is somatic, releasing the somatic trauma that's trapped, the issues in your tissues kind of thing. So releasing all that and focusing on how you can master yourself in a world that is hell-bent on getting you off track and perhaps even using people around to get you off track and all this, like, you know. So that's been a big part of my journey, is trial and error, learning through direct experience.